Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are fine and doing well. Some of you had problem in this chapter of energy resources that we talked about after page 35 of the chapter, because up to 34 or 5 chapter everyone had no problem. So I decided to make this video so that any problem you might have will be overcome, and if you have any problem even after that, you may contact me on the WhatsApp. Now listen, we already talked about the different types of gases that we normally come against when we are burning fuel. Like we burn coal, fossil fuel, gas, and all CNG and LPG. These CNG, LPG, and natural gases, they are known as natural gases because they contain a major component which is known as the methane. Methane is CH4. It has a structural formula of CH4 like this. All the hydrogens at each end like this. Okay, now carbon dioxide is produced by the burning of coal is nothing other than carbon, and carbon, when it burns with oxygen, combines with the oxygen, it burns to give out heat, which is carbon dioxide, which produces a gas also, that is a combination, and it is known as carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide at a lower atmosphere, you know that our earth is surrounded by the atmosphere. The atmosphere forms the surrounding of our earth. Now when we are burning, the sun rays, when we have sun rays falling on the earth surface, what happens is it gets reflected. Due to the ozone layer, it gets reflected, but some ultraviolet light still penetrates and gets inside. Now what happens when you are producing carbon dioxide? This carbon dioxide keeps the heat inside, so instead of getting reflected, it reflects back into the earth, keeping the surrounding earth as a blanket around you, around us, all the living things. This makes it possible for all the living things to survive on the earth, because if you have too high temperature, too much heat will kill us, too less heat will kill us also. So we need an optimum temperature, which is provided by the presence of carbon dioxide, which keeps the heat of the sun in the atmosphere of the earth. But what happens when we have an excess of carbon dioxide? What could be the reasons? That is why, as it is providing the warmth and life, due to the warmth, the life is existent in the earth, on the earth's surface. That is why we call methane and carbon dioxide as the greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas. They are greenhouse gases. What are the two main greenhouse gas? Carbon dioxide and methane. Don't ever forget that. Now what happens when you are cutting down trees, when you are burning coal, when you are burning petrol, when you are using your cars and vehicles? What actually happens is you are producing too much carbon dioxide, too much natural methane gas. Although methane gas is also naturally produced by the rotting of the fruits and vegetables, the smell that you get is due to the production of methane, but that too is in a limited amount, and carbon dioxide is also in a limited amount. What happens when you make sure that they are in higher percentage in the atmosphere by burning fuel or burning coal and other natural gases, that they combine this carbon dioxide. When it is in excess in the air, what will happen is it will keep the first thing, it will keep the heat, too much heat, it will heat up the earth, because it, to a certain level it is all right, but if the level of or the percentage of carbon dioxide in the air increases, it keeps the earth too warm. If it makes the earth too warm, what will happen? It will cause two things. It might cause acid rain. When it combines with water, it forms carbonic acid, H2CO3, which is known as carbonic acid, or it can form sulfurous acid, or it can form nitrous acid, and all those acids can be formed due to the presence of water that combines with the carbon dioxide which is in excess. Another thing is, in itself, even if it doesn't rain, the carbon dioxide level is now, you are cutting trees, you are burning all those trees, logs and coals and fuel is burning, you are producing way too much carbon dioxide, way too much pollutant gases than you are consuming, isn't it? So the only consumer of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is the plants. They are the only thing that can help us eliminate carbon dioxide to a certain limit, but we are not allowing them, we are cutting them down. So what happens is, too much carbon dioxide keeps the earth too warm. What will happen now that this greenhouse gas, which was an excellent substance for the survival of many of the all of the living things rather, so what will happen, they have now turned against those things because they are causing overheating of the earth. This methane, when it comes to a lower atmosphere, it causes devastation. Later on you will go on to find out about the different small reactions that it does until it completely dissociates into the air. It causes a lot of hazards in the air. So what happens is, due to the presence of too much carbon dioxide, now the earth is overheating. What will this cause? One, it will cause the glaciers to melt. Another thing it will cause, if the glaciers melt, it's going to cause the tides to be higher. Tides to be higher means level of sea is higher. Level of sea is higher means that the sea water or the river water, sea and river, both will get higher. When they will rise, they will enter the land areas, and mostly those areas which are low in height, because water flows from a higher level to a lower level, so it will obviously flow to the lower level, so causing flood. And there might be lots of droughts in places where there was a lot of rain, and then there might be no rain in places where there was lots of rain before, and too much desertification where there wasn't any desert at all in those places. So all those points, if you remember these points on the page 36, ice caps melt, sea levels rises, weather patterns change. As you know that this year we did not expect this much rain as it happened this time. The basements of many places in defense area are already for a long time submerged in water. So larger deserts, more droughts, and what will happen, this standing water that is in the basement, they will provide good growth for mosquitoes and insects. You will see a large number of mosquitoes and insect population increasing, and the crops will where they grew well will not be able to grow well and the spread of diseases through insects will also occur. So in those areas where there was a lot of rainfall, there's no more rainfall. So this is the effect of the greenhouse gases increase. When you increase the greenhouse gases, it causes what? It causes greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect. What is greenhouse effect? Which is due to the global warming. These are the greenhouse effects, and they are due to the global warming, which is caused by the overproduction of the natural gases and carbon dioxide. So these greenhouse gases. So it is very important that you know all these 8 points. There are 8 points. I have put star against it. Why? Because you know why very well. So eventually what will happen is all this oils and natural gas and coal that we have got in mines, they will all eventually finish at one time. Just like oil, जैसे petrol है, diesel है, and all these, they will be completely finished in about 50 more years. You have got only 50 more years to be able to drive your cars. So after 50 years, maybe you will have to find other ways of driving your cars and factories. Natural gas, the gas that you are just burning away in your stoves, and you think that it is so easily available and everything. You might be filling up your cylinders and taking it home and burning those gases. That is not that easy. You have only 70 years, probably until you become 70 years old. There might be no natural gas. Then coal mines are also due to the fossilized peat that we get. If you remember this page, and we talked about the peat, the first part of the formation of coal. When you get this, they will all be finished in 250 years time. So these are all the time or the years that are mentioned over here when you will not be able to get all these things. The table shows, and what is the best possible. Then we have to change our habits. What do we have to do? We have to make sure that all the possible use of energy we get from the fuel now, and make the best possible use of energy we are getting from fossil fuel. जैसे fossil fuel में हम उसको waste कर देते हैं जलाकर and गाड़ियों में use कर तो we have to find a way in which maximum amount of that is used up, not wasted. Like most of the time, if you I will share that video also. If you have seen that during the cold season, if you have a pet like dog or a cat that is living with you, if you close your door and you do not allow your cats or dogs to stay in your room, what will happen in the morning? You will see the animal lying, just resting its back on your door. Why? Because they are getting some warm air from under the door. There is a small, if you see, there is a small gap under your door through which air can escape, and from there the warmth of your room can escape. So if you are using, on a cold day, if you are using heater or something, obviously that warm air is leaving, and the animal is going to feel that, and it's going to come to you. Try as much as possible to enter the room. If not possible, then it would try to remain in the place where it can get a little bit of heat. So that means that there is loss of heat through doors and windows. So if you see this diagram, it is showing how and from where what percentage of energy is being lost. 25% of energy is being lost from the roof, and through the walls only 35% is being lost. 1.5% through the draught floor. Your floor gets hot, so you should or cold very easily, so you some of it is lost through the ground, some of it is lost through the windows, some of it 10% is lost through the windows, and a total amount of, you can add them up and find out how much heat is lost through the different parts of the houses, the total loss. This is too great. If you observe, इस तरीके से तो देखा जाए सबसे ज़्यादा सर्दियों में हीट लॉस होती है, नॉट ओनली ड्यू टू द लॉस ऑफ हीट, ऑल्दो वी use our heating appliances like some heat is lost in the form of electricity, some heat is lost in the form of heating up your water like the geyser, and some heat is lost in warming up your clothes by ironing it. So all this heat is, a lot of heat is lost, so we need to conserve that heat, क्योंकि जितना हम heat use up करते हैं, या तो हम उसके लिए कोल, गीज़र जो होता है आपका कोल से बनता है. अगर आप नारायण कागान की तरफ चले जाएंगे तो आपको आप यू विल सी दैट देयर आर मेनी रेस्टोरेंट्स विच हैव geysers, but they don't have gas. They have logs under it which is burning coal. So coal, you are burning coal to provide you with hot water. You are burning gas over here in Karachi to get water, hot water from the geyser. You are heating up water on the stove. You are heating up water in the hot kettle, so electric kettle. So you are heating up way too much. You are wasting too much heat. सो क्योंकि सिर्फ पानी को गर्म नहीं कर रहा, पानी के अलावा भी आप जैसे गर्म हो रहा है वो पानी, जिस वक्त तक वो हीट निकल रही है, लॉस हो रही है ना, चारों तरफ भी तो लॉस हो रही है. जो पॉट गर्म है, कितनी देर तक आप पानी जब बाल्टी में डाल देते हैं उसके बावजूद भी कितनी देर तक पॉट जो है गर्म रहती है. सो यू सी यू आर स्टिल वेस्टिंग दैट मच अमाउंट ऑफ हीट. How can you conserve that heat? If you observe your fridge, the inside of the fridge is always cold, but the back of the fridge is warm. Even in the cold days, sometimes what we do is we go and stand behind the if your fridge is like a little bit kept in a little bit in front, you will go and hide it or stand behind it so that you will feel warm enough, because it is warm. So you are losing that heat in the atmosphere. How can we conserve it? किसी तरीके से हमें उसको यूज़ करना चाहिए कि वो जो हीट प्रोड्यूस हो रही है फ्रिज के पीछे से, वो हम वार्म अप अपने वाटर करने में कर लें, या पाइप्स कुछ ऐसे गुजरें जो उस पार्ट को लगातार कूल डाउन करते रहें, और आप जो हैं आपका कमरे को वार्म कर दें, सो दैट we are not wasting that much energy. Now to stop ourselves from wasting enough energy, there are many things we can do. We can use insulation help, draughts that is escaping from under the door. You can put plastic strips over there so that you can easily stop the flow of the air from there and heat from there. And then you can use double glazing, which will stop it kind of forms a insulation layer between the two glasses. And see, these two glasses windows are replaced by special double windows, and this is a second window in addition to the first one, so that the air gets trapped between them and you do not lose the heat. Sometimes what happens is these are the insulation strips that you use under the door so that heat is not lost through the under the door. And then you can use geyser jackets. There are jackets just like that windshield के ऊपर हम एक सिल्वर कलर की स्क्रीन लगा देते हैं जब हम डायरेक्ट हीट के नीचे पार्क करते हैं अपनी गाड़ी. When we are parking our car in the parking lot and there is no shade in the parking lot, your dashboard gets spoiled due to that, and so you put a screen saver inside the car. That sometimes is silver in color. Why is it silver in color? Because it is reflecting the heat of the sun, so keeping the inside of the car cool and the dashboard from getting spoiled or damaged. This way you can do the same thing. Use that kind of material and a few fiberglass material and glass fiber or mineral wool, and make a jacket and put it on your geyser, and in this way you can stop this flow of heat. Okay, so that is very important for you to understand how the second thing is find alternative fuel to coal, gas and oil. In Brazil they have started using alcohol instead of coal, oil and gas. Instead of petrol वो अपनी गाड़ियों में क्या यूज़ करते हैं? ब्राज़ील में they use alcohol, which is cheaper, so much cheaper, and it is also renewable. Why renewable? Because alcohol we get from eatable substances like rice and potato and grapes, so you can grow more plants and do farming for these and get alcohol. And alcohol, when it is produced from the company, it barely cost you 5 rupees. जो प्योर अल्कोहल बनकर निकलती है वो सिर्फ 5 रुपए की होती है. 5 रुपए में अगर गवर्नमेंट अलाउ कर दे तो द होल वर्ल्ड विल बी अ ड्रंकार्ड. टू स्टॉप पीपल फ्रॉम ड्रिंकिंग सो मच ऑफ अल्कोहल बिकॉज इट इज इवन चीपर देन water, the government applies a heavy duty tax which makes it so difficult for people to buy it and get drunk. That's one way of keeping people at bay. Find new sources of energy where fuel does not have to be burned. So they have found a tree in a remote area which produces a kind of liquid. You must have seen in the garden there is a tree in our school garden which produces milk like substance when you break it. Well, there is a kind of tree somewhere, I think that too is in Brazil or somewhere. It produces a liquid just like that milk, but it's not milky. That liquid is similar to petrol, but we have to grow a large, big and enormous farm to grow such a big crop to provide for such the amount of consumption that we are going through these days. So that is also a big problem. So that done, I hope you people don't have any problem in that area of how to conserve heat and what are the pollutants in the air. Pollutants in the air are carbon dioxide, excess carbon dioxide, methane and sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. These are the pollutant gases. They are produced by either burning or by this is produced by the volcanic eruption. This is sometimes produced by pollutants, and this is also sulfur is also present in petrol. So when burning petrol can also create this production. This is naturally produced and in volcanic eruption also, and this is produced by burning, too much burning. So they are all pollutant gases. Okay, and only these two are the methane, and only these two are the greenhouse gases. Especially the carbon dioxide is the greenhouse gases. That's why as they are naturally present in the air, they keep the warmth of the atmosphere inside the atmosphere of the earth. But too much of percentage of carbon dioxide and methane in the lower atmosphere causes overheating, causes greenhouse effect, which causes all these things, and in turn causes global warming, which global warming causes all these things. Okay, so and for that we have to minimize the loss of heat, because we are finishing, our petrol is finishing, our we are cutting down trees way too much, for less forests are there, and so many other things are in so we use all these. I hope you understand this. So how can we renew energy? How can we find other ways of energy, producing energy? That we call that the alternative energy source. Alternative energy source can be any energy source that will not run out. Like fossil fuel will one day finish, because we are getting them from the wells under the ground, and the wells under the ground will eventually finish. So the main renewable sources on the earth are the sun, the tides and wind. ये 3 चीज़ें हैं जो कभी भी ख़त्म नहीं होती. Okay, कभी भी नहीं ख़त्म होती, and that is why we call them renewable energy sources. Okay, renewable energy sources. That is why we call them renewable energy sources, and they have been there for millions of years since the earth was formed. Wind power. Now wind power, you know this, if you have been out of Karachi on train, you know that these windmills, there are many wind farms in the before entering the Karachi through the train, near the Bin Qasim, I think near Bin Qasim. Yes, there are too many windmills and we call them wind farm. That is why we call them wind farms, large wind farms, where large number of these windmills are made. Where they work, when they move, they have this small gadget over here which gets turned and provides electricity, and which can be stored in batteries and then can be provided. Another way is by the river is flowing downwards towards the sea, it falls into the sea. You already know that is the way water travels. So they put a turbine similar to this, but now this turbine is moving. Here the turbine is moving due to the wind force, which is turning these fins. Now here the wind turbine, if you can see over here the picture, I hope it focuses. Yes, so you can see that these fins can be turned. These fins can be turned when the water moves. When the water falls from here, it turns these, and when it turns, it provides energy, which can be, again, electrical energy can be stored and given, or it can be providing energy. And you know that water will not stop flowing. When water does not stop flowing, it is a renewable energy source. Another way is using the solar panels, solar cells, solar voltaic cells and solar photovoltaic cells. They are both solar panels. They can all provide for energy. We don't have to go into the depth of this, please. Don't just you should know that these chemicals, they get activated due to the sunlight falling, and they produce energy which can be stored in the form of electrical energy in batteries, and that can provide us, but they need to be changed because the chemicals inside gets affected over time to time, needs to be replaced. That is why these are known as voltaic cells also, if you can see. So that is done. Another way is using the sea power, tidal barrage. You must have, if you have traveled by train, you must have come across the Sakkar barrage, where they have the same fin like these fin likes, these things that move, the water flows through and causes a large production of electricity. There was once a time a few years back when this Sekhar barrage was the when you are allowing some water to pass through, you are also causing a barrier sometimes. And what happened is it was about in a danger zone, and it was about to break down. So the military was called into action, and in mashallah our army saved this barrage from getting destroyed. Then there is the wind power. They were thinking that one day, जैसे अगर आप वो जो फिन पहनते हैं ना पैरों में, जो जब आप स्विमिंग करने के लिए जाते हैं, when you are going for swimming, there's a kind of fin that you wear in your feet that can move your legs up and down like this, isn't it? Like this. That is the same way they want to produce another a large amount of electricity in the middle of the sea, where the waves are super high. Like you must have seen in big movies like Finest Hour and all those movies, where a large storm is coming and waves are rising hundreds of meters high above your head. They want to use that waves to move this fin up and down, that way providing for the electricity. But to provide put this thing inside the sea, in the center of the sea, where the large wind waves are coming, is no easy task. You must know that. So they are kind of thinking about it. I don't know how much of it has been already done. Maybe they have found a way of doing that. Another way of producing energy is, that some stones, when you hit them together, they produce spark. There are some other stones which do not produce a spark that easily, but there are some which produce a spark. We call them flint stones. Now, in the same way, there are some stones which are colder, like marble. मार्बल में भी काला वाला मार्बल जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा गर्म हो जाता है, और अगर आप सऊदी अरब गए हुए हैं, उम्रा किया हुआ है, तो वहाँ पर मक्के मुअज़्ज़मा की जो मस्जिद में मार्बल लगा है, वहाँ पर जो वाइट वाले पर है आप पैर रखेंगे तो आपका पैर नहीं चलेगा, मगर काले वाले के ऊपर पैर रखेंगे तो बुरी तरह से पैर चलता है. सो यू कैन सी दैट डिफरेंट स्टोन कैन store different amount of energy, heat energy. In the same way, there are some rocks under the ground which are known as geothermal rocks, and they become super hot. There are some these rocks are so hot that you can literally fry your egg on it when they are super hot. So what they do is they have their houses over here, they make a hole and a pipe goes down and builds a tunnel over here, and then build another tunnel like here, which is connected to the house again. What happens is the water from the cold water from the house goes down, all the way down. When it reaches the that rock, it gets heated up very hot, and now it's boiling hot water which rises up now and can provide for the hot water in different houses, and you can pump it to different stations and they can be produced. Okay, so that done. So I have you can easily see that I've cut this down, so you better cut this down too. Energy from living things. Now this is super duper exciting, because this is a biomass generator. This is a biomass generator. What they do is, this is cow dung. You take cow dung, and you put it inside this tank, and then you cover it, seal it completely, and what will happen is this will rot. They add water to it and allow it to kind of grind through it, and therefore what happens is it starts to rot, the cow dung starts to rot and gas is produced. Which gas is produced? Methane gas, CH4. Methane gas is produced. This methane gas can be provided to the different houses for burning purposes. As you know, it is from biological things. The biology is the living thing science, of living things. Therefore, what will happen is it will we are talking about animals producing gas. Now biological mass or biomass is provided by every living thing, even human beings, animals, they everything, every living thing except for plant do it in a different way, but animals produce solid waste, isn't it, after eating. So that solid waste can be used for as renewable fuel, because you always need to eat, and you can use that to generate methane. After that you can separate the solid from the liquid and use the solid as fertilizer for the plants. So rotting plants and animal waste produce heat energy. The heat energy is released by microbes. They digest the plant material. Rotting biomass also produce methane. In modern sewage system, this gas is collected and used as fuel. Many villagers all over the world have biomass generators. Animals and plant waste is put into a tank with a lid. As microbe digest the waste, methane is collected and used as a fuel for heating and cooking. So this was very important. Now comes the fermentation. Cut pieces of sugarcane. If you don't have sugar cane, you can use simply sugar. आप गन्ने का रस यूज़ कर लीजिए, which is being sold in metro को ले लीजिए. उस मेट्रो को फिल्टर करिए, उस जूस को, कि उसके अंदर कोई सॉलिड पार्टिकल्स नहीं हो. उसके अंदर थोड़ी बहुत शुगर ऐड कर लीजिए या शुगर का सोल्यूशन बना लीजिए. अब उसमें डाल दीजिए थोड़ा सा यीस्ट. इफ़ यू नो व्हाट यीस्ट लुक लाइक, it comes in packets. I don't know, I do have yeast somewhere, but I can't find it right now. Wait a minute. Maybe I will show the picture tomorrow somehow. Okay, so they put yeast and put it in a covered dark area, sealed. Make sure that the gases from inside are able to come out, but gases from outside are not able to go inside. This way what will happen is it will give you 95% after distillation or after purifying the liquid, you will get 95% pure alcohol. So it is not difficult. Last time in my class we did this experiment, and we might do it online. Let us see if we can do it online someday. How do living things use energy? Green plants make their own food during photosynthesis. This process changes the energy in sunlight to food energy. Now food, हम क्यों खाते हैं खाना? Why do we eat food? Because it provides energy. How can we find out how much energy each food is providing? We burn that food material and take a small amount of water and see how much rise of temperature occurs by burning the whole of the food material that we have. For example, let us take a small piece of roti and we put it in a dish, metallic dish, and burn it, and then on top of it and put water and see how much temperature the water can attain by the burning, by utilizing the heat produced by the burning of the food material. Okay, and in this way you can use it. So this formula is very, very important, like super duper duper trooper and quadruple times important for you to memorize. How can you find out the amount of energy produced in a in a certain food, you take the mass of the water that you have taken and how much temperature rise is there. This is a constant, it will remain always there. So आपको ये 4.2 याद रखना होगा और मास ऑफ द फूड याद रखना होगा. तो आपने कितना पानी लिया, उसका वज़न, कितना टेम्परेचर राइज हुआ फूड को बर्न करने में, और क्या था मास फूड का. ये 3 चीज़ें अगर आपको पता है तो आप मालूम कर सकते हैं कितनी एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस हुई. यू नो एनर्जी इज़ ऑलवेज मेजर्ड इन joules. Don't ever forget that. So now what they did is they took out they made 3 experiments, same experiments. The same experiment. In this experiment what they did was they took the same amount of water, the mass of water was the same and the amount of water was the same. They inserted thermometers in all the 3 of them, and now under each of them they put the same dish. In one of the dish what they did was they added sugar, a certain amount in grams, like 50 grams of sugar. They took 50 grams of peanuts here and they took 50 grams of dried bread over here, and they started burning the 3 of them. Now when they started burning the 3 of them, what happened is the water started getting heated up, and when they started getting heated up, the temperature started rising in all the 3 thermometers, in all the 3 experiments. And then they got this result, that they took the same amount of 50 ml of water in all the test tubes. They took the same mass of water, 50 grams in each of the test tube. They took the same amount of sugar, peanut 1 gram, and dried bread all 1 gram. Then they started measuring the temperature. In the beginning obviously the temperature was at room temperature. They had not put on the fire, so lit the flame, so the food stuff was not burning, the sugar was not burning, the peanuts were not burning, the dried bread was not burning. Therefore the temperature was the room temperature, which was 21 degrees Celsius. Then they started to heat up the water, and the end of the when all of the food was completely burned, they found out that temperature had risen till 71. Here it was 91, here it was 51. So rise in temperature was from 21 to 71. When you subtract it, you get 50. When you subtract 91 from 21 from 91, you get 70. When you subtract 21 from 51, you get 30. So सबसे ज़्यादा rise in temperature किसका हुआ? Peanuts का हुआ, because peanuts contain a large amount of oil. Sugar does not contain that much of oil, neither does dried bread. So they found out, using this formula, energy in joules is equal to mass of water and rise in temperature and mass of. So what are they using? They are using the values of sugar only. So if you see, the mass of water was 50 gram, they have put 50. The mass of food is 1 gram. Mass of food is 1 gram. They have put it here. And what was the rise in temperature? The rise in temperature from 21 to 71, subtracted, getting 50. So they put the 50. 4.2 जैसा था वैसे ही उतार लिया. Then you started multiplying all the 3 of them, divided by 1. You got 10,500 joules or 10.5 kilojoules is the same thing. So remember one thing very important is 1000 joules is equal to 1 kilojoules. Okay, the same thing as gram and kilogram. 10,000 ग्राम 1000 ग्राम का 1 किलोग्राम होता है, इसी तरीके से 1000 जूल्स का 1 किलो जूल्स होता है. This is enough energy stored in one slice of toast. There is enough energy stored in one slice of toast to keep a cross country runner going for about 10 minutes. So these questions I will answer them in my next class, and I'll give you the answer to these tomorrow, and let's see what you can. If you have any question, you ask me. Okay, thank you. Allah Hafiz.